Thank you very much for joining us again. We're talking about paranormal groups here with Phil Wyman, Sarah and Fred. We're kind of looking at the options of should we charge, how much should we charge, and there seems to be two fairly big divides here. And I hadn't really looked into it that much until this conversation, and I agree that I think once you've got a private like White Rose, once you've got this private investigative groups that come in there, I don't think you should be charged for it, because you're doing, I think you're doing a service for people, and yourselves, but you're giving people information about their properties. Obviously, when there's a public events company like yourself, of course you should be charged, and that's put on the call. Like everywhere else, I mean, to do this show, we have to pay for this room. We have to pay for the cameras, we have to pay for the tape. Everyone has to pay for stuff. And should you make money out of it? Yeah, of course you should. Why not? There's not a problem with that.
As long as you're not extortionately overpriced, which some groups, even I can see that some groups are. When we look around, because obviously we've got competitors, or so to think, and we have a look around and see when they're charging twice as much for an event that we're doing, then they're charging twice as much. Why? Why are they charging twice as much?
I know, but it's a quick. It's the thing you sort of said earlier. A lot of people are out there for a quick buck, and it's a very easy way to make a quick buck. Let's face it. You're in the nightclub business, and you know for a fact that if you can get 2,000 people in your club for 20 quid a head, you're making money. Yeah, so, on a paranormal point, if you could get 2,000 people in, your club and charge them 20 quid a head, you've just made £40,000 in one night. And there are people who will go there, take the money, and like you said, you've had people who actually hadn't done the event, they've just taken the money, and you've had to get the police involved. But you've had, you can imagine somebody going out and doing the event. There's actually not a lot people can do if they don't enjoy it.
No.
If you've got 2,000 people in a huge event like that, and someone's standing on the stage going, right, have a wander around and just let me know what you pick up, guys.
You can't do that. You can't do that, because if you're at a
some
business,
groups do though.
You wanting people to come back as well. We do get a lot of people that come on our events that come back again. So that just proves to me that we provide a good service, if you like, a good night. Even if nothing happens, they'll still come back and join us again for another night.
Because again, that's the hardest thing to convey to people when they're coming on to any investigation is nothing may.
Exactly, nothing may happen. And that brings us on to one of my major gripes. I know, again, for a fact, from people that have been on other companies' events, that certain members do, shall we say, encourage activity. Enhance paranormal
even
activity.
The venues as well.
Yeah, even the venues, believe it or not.
I'm with you on the venues, because, we've only ever encountered it. Fortunately, we've only ever encountered it once, and it was the first time we ever walked away from a venue having had a show already booked to go there. We turned up and we started the investigation. We'd done all of our shooting in the day, and we started the investigation out in a venue. Clearly had somebody hiding and doing stuff, and we actually picked up everything, turned around and walked out again. Right. And fortunately, everyone we were very happy, because everyone did the next show and we were fine.
Yeah.
But and the channel backed us up on it. But that could have quite easily have been, if we hadn't noticed it, we could have been sitting there like fools, thinking, we've got some fantastic phenomena here. This is great. This is the best place ever in the world. Go on the internet. The scariest place we've ever been to is blah. And it just be them faking it.
Yeah. I mean, which is why we adopt a strict policy on the events that we do together, because Sarah obviously is my kind of co-host for the Dead Haunted events. We adopt a strict policy with the team leaders that nobody actually takes part in the experiments. So, for instance, we'll tell you, we'll explain how it goes and what it's all about, how you do it, we'll supervise you doing it, okay? But for instance, glass divination, we won't sit there as members of DHN, Dead Haunted Nights, with our fingers on the glass, because if it moves, we don't want people thinking, you've done that at your event.
Yeah.
So we actually explain to the people that come on our events that you might notice something a bit strange, the team leaders won't take part in the experiments, and this is why. And when we say to them, we would prefer you, in all honesty, to go home experiencing nothing at all, rather than you thinking that we might have had something to do with something moving.
Well, this actually almost is a very tenuous link. Actually, not that tenuous, but the last conversation we had previously shot, that we mentioned about fake mediums, and we said that if they're caught being fake once, they should never be allowed to practice again, which is my belief. I mean, personally, I think they should be able to practice anyway, but I think if they're caught once, they shouldn't be able to. They should be named, shamed, and kicked out of the industry. But should we be able to do the same with this? Yeah, one person seen doing something should then not be able to get a job or be a participant in any paranormal investigation.
If they're fully aware of the situation, that they shouldn't be obviously fraudulently creating paranormal activity, and they know that when they take the job on and they get caught and found out doing it, then I don't think they should be working for another paranormal group. Yeah. Why should they?
Because there's this point of over exuberance, and there's other things like micromotor muscular movement. So you've kind of got you've got your I'll just go tip that over there. You've got your glass upside down, and I'm not a Ouija board fan, because I just think I mean there's people I trust, and usually when it's very rare that it ever moves when just those people I trust are around the table. It does move, right? And I'm not saying it's people making it move, knowingly making it, but you've got the slightest little twitch that you may not even know you've done could set that on a path that other people are just going with. Yeah. And you probably don't even know you're doing it. Yeah. So subconsciously you're doing it. Now, is that not fraud, or is that just...
But if your team leaders and anybody connected to your paranormal event company doesn't take part in those experiments, then that's for the people that are actually taking part, and your members of the public and your guests taking part in the experiments, to make their own minds up about. For all I know, it could be paranormal activity, it could be what you mentioned, subconscious movement of the glass, or accidental slip of the glass, and people kind of carry it on. But that is for the people taking part in the experiment to make their minds up about. And most of the people are intelligent enough to do that come on our events.
No, I have to admit, it's a difficult call to make. But when you do your private stuff, I mean, do you ever have people on there that you don't know?
No.
It's always people
just our
that you know. So it's just a group that you kind of you work with, and you.
It's a core team you've got, isn't it, of about 5 or 6 people?
Yeah, we used to do when we first started, because we had an internet forum, and we used to get obviously a lot of people joining, saying, "Can we come along?"
Internet forums.
Yeah.
Good fun, those places.
I'll stay clear now, but yeah, we did.
They're for nasty, angry little people.
They are,
yes,
little people. But anyway, we did have people come along, but it just got to the point where, like you say, you have to have people around you that you can trust to be able to get any kind of results, and to be able to know what you're experiencing. We might say it's not paranormal, but we can rule out any interference from other people there.
See, that's the thing, and I think so when we've had stuff that we can trust, as you well know, and we used to go on vigils, when you had a group of people that you knew you could trust, more stuff happened with people you knew you could trust than if you had just one person who you knew you couldn't. I mean, that's what we're talking about. If they were on that particular vigil, nothing would happen unless they made it happen. And but you kind of have this. And I'm convinced it's an energy thing, it's a trust thing. Once you're with people that you know you can trust, because you're relaxing, you're not sitting there thinking, that creak, or was that somebody moving something, or was that somebody hiding, is that somebody not? Once you've got all that out of your mind's clearer to do what you want to do, which is an investigation into the paranormal. I think we've come to the end of the show again now. Sorry, I've waffled on a bit there, but thank you guys so much for coming in. Okay. Sarah, Phil, Fred, really do appreciate it, and good luck with your events, because
thank you very much.
I'm coming on one with you soon, aren't I?
You are indeed, yeah.
Can't wait. But thank you very much, guys, for coming in, and please join us next time on the Great Unexplained Debate. I forgot where we were then. See you soon. Bye bye.